Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about the selection tools and look at how we can select, edit, and change around a photograph to cut it out the way you want for your laser cutter. So most importantly, when we use the raster-based software, which is Photoshop, for preparing things for the laser cutter, we're going to be using the selection tools a ton. We're also going to be using the adjustment tools. And with those two things combined, we're probably going to have pretty much what we want to set up our photograph for the laser cutter. So with that said, our selection tools are here. It's the first few tools on the left. Again, this is our toolbar to the left. We have a bunch of pull downs on top and our palettes to the right where you can kind of manipulate the tools that you choose. The first selection tool is the marquee tool, and any one of these little buttons with a tiny triangle in the corner is going to actually have more than just one option there. So if you click and hold, it's going to show you a few other options. So your marquee tool just allows you to click drag a selection. If it's the elliptical version, it will draw an ellipse, which might be nice because you might want this image here for your laser cut. You might be laser cut etching onto a circular piece of wood or a coaster, something like that. So this could be perfect for something such as that. I'm going to deselect this. Command D deselects. Also, you can go up to the select menu up here and deselect. But moving on, there's a single row, a single column. That's pretty self-explanatory. Also with the selection tools, what you can do, and oftentimes you'll be doing this a lot, is you can select and then holding shift you can add to your selection. Holding alt option you can remove from your selection. So by adding and subtracting you can create some interesting operations. You might be cutting out a strange crescent shape or something else out of the wood, so this would help you out with that. The next set of selection tool is your lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. Your lasso tool, deselect that, allows you to draw specifically by moving the mouse around what you want selected. So you can get kind of funky organic shapes that way. Polygon lasso tool does a very similar thing, only it keeps perfectly straight lines. So in fact, this might be perfect for cutting out this house where you can follow this kind of ridge line, the roof line, follow the architecture, and get out a pretty good version of this house with only a few clicks. So that would be a good example of that. Here, I'll do this real fast. Double click at the end to create your selection, and you can move that. And then finally, the magnetic lasso tool, what that does is it allows you to select as you draw, but it snaps to differences in luminance or pixels. Now I'm going to zoom in to show you this a little clearer. The magnifying glass allows you to zoom in. Holding alt option while you have that tool allows you to zoom out. But we're going to grab the magnetic lasso tool, and you'll see that as I hover close to this roof line, the computer kind of reads the differences in pixels there and automatically snaps to these differences. So if used correctly, you can actually select things that are kind of complicated pretty quickly. You'll see we got that roof line pretty good. And again, all these lasso tools and the marquee tools you can add together. So if I hold shift, I will add this marquee tool to the selection I created with my lasso tool. If I hold alt option, it will remove stuff like that. So all the selection tools work that way. Okay, last but not least, of course, is your magic wand and your quick selection tool. And these are probably the most powerful selection tools you have in Photoshop. Magic wand tool will allow you to click on a pixel, and based on our tolerance, let's crank it up to something like 60. Based on our tolerance, it will select that pixel, and our tolerance is 60, so 60 pixels lighter, 60 pixels darker, 60 pixels to the left and right of that color wheel, although we're using black and white. So you'll see that it selects almost most of that sky, and we can, with a few more clicks, really easily delete out most of that sky. So the magic wand tool is brilliant for working with big areas of color that are very consistent and similar, even if they have weird jaggedy edges like this, because that magic wand will pick up that whole chunk. And the the quick select tool does something very similar, only as you brush on with that brush, it's going to select like the magic wand as you click, drag, and go. Now, depending on how big or small your brush size is kind of equal to the tolerance, like as in the magic wand tool. So you can change your brush size here. Also, you could hit left and right brackets to make your brush bigger or smaller. So that will mess with the tolerance as you paint in, which is pretty cool. So we can paint in this house pretty quickly and get almost exactly what we're looking for. And again, don't be afraid to zoom in. It's going to allow you to pick things up easier. So if we wanted something like this, we can get rid of it. Or if we wanted to keep just that, what we could do, and you'll often use this a lot, is go up to select inverse, and we'll actually select the opposite, which is everything but the house. So we could get our house out from that image if we just wanted to etch the picture of this house onto the side of our laser cut project. So that's pretty much your selection tools. There are some more options. It goes further into depth under the select pull down tab. I'll let you discover those on your own. We know how to select things and prepare them for the shape that we're going to be laser cutting out. Next video, I'll go over adjustments and how to adjust this so we get the best results when we actually etch this in.